Okay, so we okay, so yesterday we carried out our wireframe from the flowchart we did. Here is my flowchart. Where did I put my flowchart? Or did I delete it? Okay, turn it off. I turn it off. Okay, so yesterday I think I turned it off. So yesterday we carried out the mid-fidelity, and it was just same thing as the assignment I gave to you, just like more of like showing you guys how to just perfect what you guys have done so far. And we did low fidelity, and we did just few prototyping just only for this sign up sections. And today I said I'm going to connect other screens together, but for now we're just going to do only the sign up. And then yesterday we also did not indicate the input screen, like the input field. This is just like an empty screen, and we are going to design for when someone has in their full details, so that we can link that when you type on the screen, just take us to that. Okay, so today we are going to do that. But before we continue to just link up other flows, we are going to create the, let's say, the food information for this, and maybe restaurant information for this, so that at least we will have a longer flow if we are connecting other screens to get to these ones. Then we'll know what to do with the assignment. So I dropped my old design. I dropped my old design as part of our inspiration to design other screens. Okay, so I'm going to take out the, okay, I think I have to leave it, but I'm going to take out some of the connection I've done, especially for this sign off. So I'm going to take it out and then duplicate and then design an input information, like a screen that has all the information imputed already. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll also do that for the login, and I'll also do that for the OTP and OTP, forgot password, and then create password, just for me to have a nice flow when we are trying to play with our prototyping. Okay, so I'm going to do that now before I continue any other things I'm doing. So, but before I will do that, I will have to disconnect, or I'll have to take out this, because if I duplicate, I'm going to have two, like two flow. Now, this is what I mean. So this is what I mean. So I'm just going to take it for us to just get confused. So first thing first is I'm going to move this one here, and I'm going to remove this. So I'll just take note of the setting that I have already put. But if it's something that you're just doing that moment, I believe you know the setting you actually did there. So I'm going to take this out. Then I'm going to click here. I'm still on the prototype side. So I'm going to click here to show all the prototyping connections. Then I'm going to remove this one. So I'm going to show the prototype setting. I'm going to remove this one. So you can either remove it from here, or you can just click on your delete or backspace key. So, and then I'm going to click it again to be sure that all those things are gone. So I'm going to also take this one out here. Okay. So this is what I have. Okay. So I'm going to go back now to my design and then do those things I just want to do. So I'm going to duplicate this here. So I'm going to rename this to empty sign up page. So this is going to be empty. And the next one is going to be field information, or field, whatever English you want to use, but as long as you indicate, you differentiate the both of them, is fine. So this should be field and it should be empty. So I'm going to, so how do I want my field input field to look like? So remember I said this box that you can type your details is called input field, while the button is called CTA. So what is CTA? Call to action button. So we are going to put in our full name. So I'm going to remove this because actually two separate things. So I think I'll have to take out the icon, and I will have to change this. So I'm going to increase the weight of this to stand out as the MP field that you've already typed. So I'm going to make it this way, and I'm going to use this our black color for it. So I'm going to use my name for it. I'm going to do same. So what you can just do to make your work easy, just copy this, Control C, come here and paste, and then take out this icon. Now you can see that I am actually clicking on the whole of the icon, not just the vector, not just this, but the whole of the icon, like the whole of it. And then I'll remove it, and then I'm going to change this to my surname.
Junior, for Sudo, delegate Senator.
Please, you go. Okay, so let's continue. Why is this thing running so far? I've set it to. Okay, so then we are going to put, so just the same way, you don't need to stress yourself, just to copy and paste. You remember we put those things in auto layout. Now, one sweetness about auto layout is as long as you set it very well, if you like just be doing copy and paste, everything is just going to be aligned and centered the way you have set it. That is one sweet thing about auto layout. So when we start creating our, what are the visual techniques, things that you need to create your high fidelity designs, I'm going to teach you how to do those things, both in auto layout, both in variants, both in components. I'm going to teach you how to do that. But when we get to that topic, I'm going to show you, even if it's going to take 6 hours for the class, I'm going to show you how to do that. I'm also going to show you how to create your style guides, your local styles, style guide for your high. You can use the same, you can actually use the same style guide for, you can use the same style guide for your mid-fidelity, as long as it's just the arrangement, because whatever we arrange here, whatever we set here, that's what we are going to use on a high fidelity. Okay, on our high fidelity, the only difference is that low fidelity, no alignment, no spacing, it's just there and all. But for mid-fidelity, it is aligned, you have the right space. In fact, just everything. So we don't even need to stress yourself when you're doing the high fidelity. All you have to do is just to copy what I've arranged here, paste on your high fidelity screen, and add the necessary colors. That's what I normally tell people. If you want to design your mid fidelity, yeah, there are options for you to add icon. There are options not for you to add icon. So you can use this icon like this. So if you add your icon like this, when you now move it to your high fidelity, what you just do is just to use the right icon color that you want to use. Or you can do it the same way I did for the home page. So the choice is yours. Everybody wants something that is going to be very, very fast. So that's why people normally use this and normally add icon. So when they want to do the high fidelity, they just use the right icon color for it. Okay, so the choice is yours. That is why I did the two for this design, so that you will just, okay, which option or which pattern work best for you. Now let's continue. Now we are doing field screen. So I'm just going to take out this phone icon. So I'm going to take out this phone icon and replace this. So right here, because I know I use a random number here. Now, if you tell, now instead of using different things, different button, different this, different that, you're just going to have so many inconsistency in your design. And remember, we talked about consistency is one of the important UI design principles. Yes, including UX, but consistency is actually a very important UI principle. So everything you're doing, if you're using this particular size for your title, maintain that size. If you're using this particular color, maintain this particular color. If you're using this particular collection of icon, use this particular collection of icon. Please ignore all the different icons I'm trying to use. I'm already used to it, but in your own, you're going to use one particular collection of icon. If you are if you're using this particular size, shape, pattern of button, maintain that pattern, okay? But if your input field is short like this, your button should, like what I normally advise is, the only thing, you see that you make your first name and last name like this, or you make it long from year to year and put this one under. There you have to expand the screen if the information on that screen are small, just like the way Oluchi was asking yesterday. If you want to put your first name year to year, last name under, then you have to expand the screen. So when you expand the screen, there's no need for you to push or make your button to be flying, like it to be at the center or very close. No, you don't even need to stress yourself. Your button should just remain at the bottom. So it will only work for any screens that has those bottom navigation. That is when you have to push your bottom navigation to where the phone is actually ending. Okay, so let's continue. So I'm going to just copy this here. It's raining again. Reverse states. Okay, so for password, it's actually raining again. So I'm going to take out this lock. You can tell how. Now you can tell immediately I take out that lock, this has actually shifted from its position. Now what will I do? I don't want this guy to leave that position. Now I have to undo whatever I've done. I have to undo whatever I've done. Now this is what I've done. So I'm going to come here and then set it here, Alt. So once I set it in Alt, it has taken the position. So all I have to do is just to play around with this and it will not mess this up. So I'm going to paste the information. So I'm going to take this out. Now you can tell that this actually did not leave its position. So I'm going to do that again so that everybody will understand what I did. So I'm going to undo. Learning seriously. Okay, now this is, I'm going to undo that. So this is how it is. So I'm going to take it out from, turn it to back. Now this 128, I told you is the space here. 126, sorry, is the space written here and here. Now here shining this pink color. Now if I reduce this information on this text here, it's actually going to shift. Because if this text reduce, it's actually going to shift. Now let me show you something. So if I take out the SSD pass, now you can tell it has actually reduced. And now I don't want this to leave this position because I want it to be on the same position, maintaining this one and that of the password input field. I want all my input field for anything concerning the password to be of the same spacing, the same alignment, everything. I want the 4 of them, sorry, to be same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold. Now remember how we put this in our layer. So I'm going to hold the 3 of them. Now come here, click on this drop down, put it in Alt. So once I put it in Alt, it will remain in this position. So no matter what I do here, it's actually not going to leave this position. Yes, it's going to adjust. It's going to fill up the remaining space to get to this information. Now I'm going to paste what I want to paste. So I'll paste what I want to paste and then I'll take out this icon. So once I take out this icon, this is how it will be. And then I'm going to maybe add the password. So once I've add this, so I'm going to come here. Okay, so this is okay. Okay, so this is perfect. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to duplicate this and add information inside. I'm going to click this, and click this. So I'm going to go to prototype, So I remove this one. So I'm going to duplicate this here. So this is going to be empty and this is going to be filled. So I'll come back to my design and then I'm going to click here. I'm going to remove it from auto layout. Remove from auto layout. So once I remove from auto layout, all of them is fine. I'm going to also pick it up from auto layout. Yeah. Remove call from auto layout. So I want to put text inside. So if it is in auto layout, I cannot do what I want to do. If you just see it, you keep scattering, keep taking me this way, and you know how auto layouts normally dance around. So I'm just going to take this my input field size here. So since I already have it, I'm just going to paste it here. So I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to call this one. So I'm going to bring it in here, showing me at the center. Yeah. You can just drop them, later you arrange them and all, and then change the number to whatever number you want to use. Whoa. So let's just give it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to hold this. Now, if you remove it from auto layout, it's actually going to be inside a frame. So anything you just remove from auto layout, it's just going to be in a frame. It just automatically converts the auto layout to frame instantly. But remember, your tutor don't love designing in frame. She loves designing with auto layout. So I'm going to arrange everything. I want all the numbers to be at the center, and then I'm going to convert it back to auto layout. So I have this. So now when you're playing around with it, don't make sure it doesn't scatter or leave the line. But even though it leaves the line, you can just turn on your grid system, adjust it, and then turn it off. Okay, so I'm going to, I think this is actually at the center, so I'm just going to put it auto layout. So I'm going to get the height of this. So the height of this is 50-50. So, but immediately I put auto layout, I think actually reduced by 1. But that you don't have to worry. When you are done, you can just choose to align it very well. So I'm going to hold this auto layout. I'm going to hold this auto layout. I'm going to hold this auto layout. So as I'm doing it auto layout, it's actually reducing, but it's taking it at the center. So auto layout. So I'm going to hold all of them. I'm going to hold all of them. So once I hold all of them, I'm having different size of the weight is having different sizes, and that's why it's showing it. So I'll just come here, just click on it, and then type 50, and then come to the height, and then type 50, and then make sure that my numbers, like each number inside the box, is at the center. And then I will click on the first one and make sure that everything is at the center. So once you place it at the center, you're good to go. So I'm going to turn on my layout bridge, and and then arrange it very, very well. So come here and turn it, check here, check it. So everything is actually intact, and then I will highlight all of them, and then make them two layouts for the last time. And I'll make sure that they are actually at the same place. Yeah, at the same. But before you do that, you have to make sure that the screen, the OTP empty screen and OTP free screen are actually the same. So you need to adjust everything here before duplicating and adding your number here. So once you are done, hold the two screens together, make sure that everything is actually aligned the same. So that when you're doing your prototype, it's not when one screen is flying up, the information in one screen is going up and the information in the second screen is going down. To show that your work are not properly aligned very, very well. Now let's continue. So we've done these parts. We're going to link up the prototype back. So I'm going to show prototype. So I have shown prototype. So this edit here is actually going to come back to this screen. Remember, it's kind of the previous screen, and this other edits is actually going to go back to this screen, and this screen here, this one here, is actually going to go to this screen. And let's say you did not type in the OTP code and you click on verify, it's going to throw you error. So I'm going to move this verify here. Let's see if that's actually what we're showing. Okay, I'm going to move this verify to this success screen, and I'm going to move this information. So you can choose to design first screen, second screen, like this one. Sorry, first name, last name, this input field together. But in this part, I'm not going to design it one. So when we are doing the high fidelity design, I will show you how to just use one screen to have different input of like one screen, just one screen like this. But the input field is going, when you're prototyping it, the input field is going to, sorry, no, this is not supposed to be Bluetooth. Okay, but the input, like let's say we have one screen. Now inside this one screen, we have empty input field. We have how to show your user when the input field is empty, to show your user how it will be when they click on it to type, before they will type, how it will show, to also show your user how it will look like when it's filled. So I'm going to show you how to do that, so you don't need to design multiple screens. So it will just have the display will be like this, but when you're going to prototype, you just click on the input field. It will just, when you click on it, it will just show just one input field. I will going to show you how to do that. Okay, so let's continue this our normal pattern. So I'm just going to allow my prototype to just be like, when I click on one of these screens, to just show me this in a very simple way. Okay, so I think I'm going to click on all the prototyping. Let me see. So going to be this, and I'm just going to assume that okay, so I've done this. So I'm trying to just say, okay, let's say you did not put any OTP code and you click on verify. It's going to throw you an error that says, please, you need to input your OTP code before you can continue. So I'm going to return this back here to be after delay. It's not going to be tagged because confirmation screen is just supposed to pop up for a second and then disappear. So I'm going to go to after delay. So once I go to after delay, so what we actually set for this, so I'm going to use the same setting for year. So I have 2000 milliseconds. So for year, I'm going to use same setting, 2000 milliseconds. Okay, so I'm going to show my prototyping. Okay. So this is what we have. So I'm going to link up my login. So my login is going to move to this screen. But before we move it, let's duplicate this. Let's duplicate this, show my prototype. I'm going to move this login to here and this login to here. Okay, so I'm going to say, okay, if you don't put your email and password, it's going to show you an error. I say, please input your details before you can continue. So I'm going to link this sign up back to this screen. I'm going to link this sign back here. And I'm also going to scan the previous settings. I'm going to link this sign up to this empty screen here to show my prototype, and then I'll zoom out to see if I'm actually seeing anything. So I am only missing one thing here. This cannot be notes. Follow my directions. So I'm going to do it again. Okay, it's actually there. So I'm going to turn on my to see if I'm actually missing anything. This login is going to come to this screen here. Let's click on show prototype and see if I'm missing anything. I think this one is here. Is here. So, okay. Okay. Now let's do for the login. Let's do for the login. I do the forgot password. Then we can preview, and then I'm going to preview everybody. I'm going to preview for everybody to see, and once you preview, you can check for people that are already on this Figma file. You can just click on. Okay, you already have this. You already have access to this Figma file, so you can just play around with it. Okay, you can also, as you're on the file, you can just click on this flat screen, click on your present, and then play around with it. But you cannot edit, and you cannot play around with it on your mobile phone because you don't have access to edit. It will only work for you when you're using the mobile phone if you have access to edit on my file, and if you're working on your own Figma file. Okay, so let's leave this login flow, and then forgot password flow, and we continue. So I'm going to come back to my design here. Then I'm going to add the information. I don't think I have this. See, let's see if I still have the information I copied. Okay, I still have it. So I'm just come here. It's going to take this out. So use small letter here. Use small letter O, and added then now let's see if this is actually scattered. Now it's scattered. What I have to do is go back, click on this, come here, click on Alt here, then paste what I want to paste. I think I added 0040 and I took this guy out. So I've done this. Now let's play around with the prototyping. I'm going to turn off my grid system. I'm going to turn it off, and I'm going to come to prototype here. The first thing I'm going to do is just link maybe one screen here to this. It's carrying the previous information. Okay, so I'm going to link this sources to this screen. Okay, no, sorry, this sources to this particular sources. So I'm just going to zoom out this particular sources to this particular sources. It's showing me on drag. It's supposed to be on tap. Okay. I think the reason why it's showing me this on drag is because this prototype, this one, I already have its own settings. So I think I have to duplicate this and then link to login. So I'm going to take out this particular one. Okay, I don't notice something. I'm going to duplicate this. So I'm going to take this one to this sources here, and I'm going to bring duplicate this and bring it here. So now once I duplicate it, it already have its own settings here. So I'm going to drag this. I'm going to drag this to this. I'm going to turn this on and then see. It's not supposed to be dragged, it's supposed to be tapped. So I've done this. So this error is coming from this error. So we've done the sign up and the login flow. So before we continue, let's see what we have done so far. So if there are any errors, you can quickly correct those errors. So I'm going to click here. I'll come here and click on present. Move it this way. Move it. So you can choose to take out this header if you want to. If you want to follow your prototyping, you are free to follow your prototype. You just need to be moving to the next screen and off. So let's wait for it to load. Okay, while it's loading, let's go to this one and make the adjustments. Yay! Okay, so let's see this one. My network is actually slow. Refresh, please. I'm going to leave my cursor. Now I'm on the first onboarding screen, second onboarding screen, third onboarding screen, get started. Now you'll be wondering why is it moving. I clicked here and said follow my prototype. So I'm going to repeat it again. So if I turn it off, now if I'm sign up, it's actually not moving. So I'm going to restart that. And I'm going to click here to say follow my prototype, like follow the screen so that I know, so that I will know if there are any errors. I can quickly trace the error to adjust it. So I'm going to start again. Good restaurants, order food, fast delivery, get started. I'm on sign up. I'm going to put the information. Oh, I already have an account. I'm going to just log in. Oh, no, I can't. Oh, sorry, it's not this app. I have an account. Let me go back. Okay, yes, let me put my right information. Okay, continue. Okay, oh, I think I made a mistake on my phone number. Okay, I've adjusted, then continue. Now, OTP code. Yeah, it has been sent. Then I'll have to verify. Did I try? So you guys are seeing what I just did. Okay, so now let's look at the login flow for it. So I'm going to go back. Let's go back. Let's play around including the error spots. Now let's say, let me make a flow for Choma, your name just popped up in my head. So now Choma is a new user and she just wants to log in. So we're going to, this is how Choma is going to interact with this product or application. Mavi Food, she'll go through the onboarding, she'll get started, she then sign up, she then puts her information, she then continue. Oh, she actually made a mistake on her phone number. She will go back, make an adjustment on the phone number, click on continue. She's so fast that she didn't know that she did not put the code and she click on verify. and it throws out an error. I say, please input your code before you can continue. And then she tried it again. She's putting the wrong code. It takes her back, and then she put the right code, and then she verify. So you have successfully created an account. Please hold on while we take it to the home page. And then she's on the home page. Now let's say for Marvelous now, she's already a already an existing user, and she just wants to log in quickly into the app to order her food. And then she opened the splash screen. So I'm going to take it back. She opened the splash screen. First onboarding, she clicks here. Second onboarding, she clicked. Then she gets started. She's just going to log in into her account, put her necessary information, and then click on login. Successful, and takes her to the home page. So let's do for forgot password now. Let's do for forgot password, and let's play around with the home page. Remember I told you I'm going to play around with this to move, and I'm going to increase the screen and then try what I'm going to do what Oluchi asked yesterday in class. Okay, so let's go back and do the flow for forgot password. So show prototyping. So I'm going to move this forgot password here straight to here. I'm also going to click on this forgot password to come here. So I'm just going to come here and copy this screen. So I'm just going to copy this screen. So when you're copying, if you copy now, it's going to carry the whole of this setting. So what you just need to do is just click and copy the information inside. So when you click the information, then you come here, you push this one here. Instead of you don't want to stress yourself, start doing your prototype from afresh. Just copy only the elements you want to copy inside the screen, and then you carry this one from here. Okay, and then you bring this one. So when you bring it inside, you're just going to paste that thing you want to. So once you paste, let's take this thing out first. Thank you. So now it's actually, when it's showing you the name of the frame, it's actually outside. So I'm going to return this back to design. I'm going to hold my cursor like this, take it out. And then I'm going to click out. Then I'll come back and click on it again. And then I'll bring it inside. So it's actually now inside. And then I'll now have to align to the center. So once I've aligned to the center, I'm just going to hold the two of them. Now look for this red circle here, red circle here. Just hold the first one and then drag your cursor down. It's just going to change. You just change. You just like, it's like you're turning a card. That's how you just going to take out this one. So you don't need to stress yourself removing and editing your prototyping. Okay, you go back to your prototype. Then we're going to design for this. So I'm just going to click this. Going to bring this here. So the only thing we did here was just to link our login here. So if I duplicate, because it's just one connection, which is actually, so it's just one log for password like that. So I'm just going to go to this screen. I'm going to go to this screen. So I'll come here. Then once I click on the screen, if there are no interaction or close starting points here, then that means our screen is empty. Then I'm going to come here. So I don't have the information. This is my input information here. So I'm just going to go back to copy this phone number. So I'm just going to copy this phone number. So here. Then paste it. I'm good to go. So once I paste it, I'll come back to my prototype, show prototypes. So I'm going to move this one here and then return this login back to login screen. Back to this login screen. I remember my password so you can log in. Then I'm going to click this send to this screen here. So I'm going to come here, return this back to this empty login screen. And I'm going to just move this one to this place and move this click to edit. Okay, so I think we did not make that adjustment, or did we? Okay, so that's adjustment. Now remember I said, now this thing is just like the whole information is one, and if I click my prototype, it will tell me that even if somebody click on please enter, it will return the person back, but I don't want it to be so. I just want a user to only click to edit, like click this to edit text, so that it will just take the person back to the next page. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back here, click on my design. So I'm just going to pick this one. So I'm just going to take this. So I'm going to copy it. And then I'll come here. I'll paste it. So once I paste it, I'm going to hold the two together. So once I paste it, I'll just take it up a little bit. And I'm going to hold this. I'm going to drag this way. So once I drag, I can now delete this one that I don't need. Then I'm going to click on prototyping, show prototype. Now it's to tell you that it's actually linking up to that. So I'm going to click on it and then I will remove it. Once I remove it, I'm going to link it up. So before I do that, so let me duplicate it on this screen. So I'm just going to drag, bring it inside the screen, hold the two together, zoom in, and then move it. So I'm just going to take it downward a little so that that's thinking function is going to come up for me. So once I turn it, I'm just going to delete this text. Then I'll come to my prototype here, and then I'm going to click on this alone. Click to edit to be on this screen. It's on top. And then the next one here, it should be on top. So anyone that show you on drag means two connections are like one screen is one particular thing is actually wrong somewhere. So it's supposed to be tap, click, tap. You're tapping on it, not dragging the element when you're doing your prototyping. Okay, so we've done this. So I'm going to just say, now we don't have error screen. So this is going to be successful. So I'm just going to exchange these two. Yeah. So I'm going to also duplicate this here. You can choose to add your error, but for now I don't want to add an error. So you can tell that, you can see that when we did the design, we just did the design, we don't have much screens when doing the design, but when we started doing the prototyping, you can tell that we are now having more screens. Okay, so that is one thing about design. When you have the display of your design, you just have, for example, you come up with a project from your flowchart. Your flowchart might have like 30 boxes, you get, and then you move those 30 boxes to your mid-fidelity, and you've done the wireframing. You might have 35, even 40, and by the time you start doing the prototype, you end up having 45. Okay, and then you do the same thing for your high fidelity, and you have the same figure. Yeah, that is why when somebody tell you, okay, come up with 15 screens, sometimes when I say come up with 15 screens for this thing, you might just see yourself, and even the 15, when I say, okay, come up with this a food app application for 30 screens, it is not compulsory that you have to combine some screens. Like now you want to combine OTP and create a password together in one screen. No, it's not possible. So when I say, oh, come up with a 30 screens for a social application. So if you're working on the flow and you notice that your flow is actually longer and it is more than 30 screens, please just do it according to, because you need your user to have good experience while trying to interact with your product. Now look at only our authentication screens. We have 5 here, we have 6, we have 4. I think this is 15. Then you have 7 here. You could tell that we have up to 20 something screens for only authentication. That is not even up to, that's not even up to 10 if you look at the flow. It's not, 10 is too much. That is not even up to 10 if you look at the flow. But when you start moving your designs from the flow chart into this, you end up seeing yourself doing over 70 screens, 100 screens. When you open somebody's Figma, you'll be seeing screens everywhere. So this is how it always turns out to be. Okay, so let's continue. So I'm going to show prototype. Are we missing anything? Okay, now this should be this and here. And the next one here should be here to here. So this is going to be after delay. And it's going to be, so after delay, we actually use smart anime is out. And I need to be, wow, I need to be sure for what we did. So I'm just going to click here. Smart anime is out, 200 milliseconds. So I'm going to come back here, click on it. So you can click here too. Smart anime. So here is going to be 2000 milliseconds. You're wondering why is it that every time we're in class, there's always things close to airport wave. Okay, so I'm going to duplicate this here, and I'm going to be sure that it's actually not connected to any screen. So I think I still have those in password information. So I'm just going to copy it here. So I'm going to copy it here and come here, paste it. Sorry, oh my God. Copy, put this back in design. Control V, paste. See that that's actually standby. So I think we touched it when we are trying to fix this other screen, but now you can see that when I took out that other guy, it has scattered. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it and then move it to out here and then take out this guy out. I'm going to do that for year 2. Paste. And I'm going to hold it. Okay, this is already set. I'm just going to take out this guy. So back to our prototyping. Back to our prototyping. Sorry, just give me 1 minute, please. Just give me 1 minute, please. Okay, I believe you can see my screen, right? Okay. Please say something, please.
Yes, ma'am, we can see your screen.
All right. All right, thank you, namesake. Okay, so now let's continue now. Let's go back. So we've added input feed. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to link this here. So once I link this here on top and I'm going to move this to this place. And I'm also going to move this successful. You are successful. You can create a new password. Please log in and create your new. Please log in with the new password you have created. There's the login. Back to login. So this is okay. Now there is an issue here because we did not change our previous settings. So I'm going to come back to this screen. I'm going to come back to this screen. I'm going to check this one. So this one is carrying smart anime instead of instant. So I'm going to correct that. And then I'm going to check this. And this is going to be after delay. Going to be smart anime 2000 milliseconds. Okay. So I want everybody now that is on this Figma file to actually play around with this. So if you join with your if you join with the desktop app, so I'm just going to give you the opportunity to share your screen and let's see what you are playing around from your own end. So who is actually joining with their laptop? Who actually joined with their laptop and they are already on the Figma file? So let me give you the privilege to play around with what I've done. Windy, Marvelous, Bola, Chioma, Maureen, Sylvester, Favor, what is your name? I requested for access on your Figma file. I'm still waiting. I believe you guys can see my name and your name, my screen and your name on it. Ahmed, I'm still waiting for your comment on Google Class. Maureen, Damilola, Star, Esther, join this class. Wow. Patrick, Blessing, join. I'm still waiting for all of you. I'm still waiting for your request to share your screen and let's see what you've actually interacted. You are actually doing on the Figma file. People that join with their laptop. Before we continue, and if you have question, please ask a question then before we continue. What is Marvelous typing? Oh, I should share the link again. Okay. Question mark. Okay. My auntie said she has question. Make a request. Make a request to speak. Yeah, I have. I've done that just now. Okay, since we don't have question, let's continue. Okay, so let's play around like the forgot password section. Let's play with it. Let's play with the whole thing. So who's actually clicking on my file? Okay, I said for people that join with their laptop, I wanted to allow them to share their screen to play around with this design that I've done, the wireframe and the prototype, to play around with it. Let's see how it is on their own end. So that it not look like see it is only my Figma that the magic is actually working. So that was what I said. But nobody requested to share their screen and all. So let's continue. But I'm going to play around with it by using 3 different users. So the first user is going to be a user that is a new user that is just actually going to sign up, that will take the person straight to the home screen, and the second person user is a user that an existing user that has been using my food application before. I just want to log in and then order a food. And the third user is a user that has not used this product for a very long time. It's actually an old user. Oh, the person has already signed up. The person used this product last January, and today is 28th of July, and the person wants to use this application. Okay, so this person is actually cannot remember her password or his password, and the person is going to create a new password so the person can log in back to the application. So the first user is going to be Maureen. She's a new user. The second user is going to be Shegu, an existing user that has been using this application frequently. And the third user is going to be Oluchi. She's an old user, but she used this application last January and she cannot remember her password. Now the first user is who did I call first? Maureen. So Maureen, let's play with Maureen's workflow. So she's already so then she gets started. She click on sign up. She puts her information. She click continue. Then she mistakenly click verify, and it throws her an error to tell her to go and put the OTP code. And then she said, oh, this phone number is not correct. Let me edit it. And then she's done editing. She click on continue. She click here. She click verify. Say successfully, and takes her to the home page. Then the second user, which is actually Shegu. Shegu is an existing user already. He has been using this application always, and he just wants to place food. He wants to place food, dinner for him and his girlfriend, or maybe wife. So let's just go this way. Good restaurants, order food, fast delivering, login. Simple. And then the last user, which is Oluchi. She's someone that actually used this application since January, and she cannot remember her password. I did not do any magical. It was actually the prototyping that I did, and see how beautiful it turned out to be. Okay. So the question before we continue with the home page designs and then prototyping. It's Roland to this call. Just sent a message that he can't join the call, so help me invite him to the call, please. And also just click on this. If you want, I don't know if Tope is sitting on this call. If you want to join with your laptop, now this is my laptop, and if you just want to just click on this video chat. Once you click on it, it will just take you straight to this call. Just click on it here to take you straight to this call. So that's how Telegram laptop works, and that's how it works. So you just click on it. Okay, thank you very much. So let's continue. So now, okay, Oluchi says she has a question. Where is her name, Mo? Please, where is her name? Where is her name? Oluchi. Oluchi, Oya, you are free to speak. Freedom, you have your freedom of speech now. Over to you.
Okay. Hello, Ma, you can hear me now?
Loud
Hello?
and clear.
Okay.
Yes, loud and clear.
You inputted your information on this thing. Is it not for the user? Is it not the user that's supposed to input their information? You were putting your phone number and you are typing your phone number and your this thing.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm asking, is it not the user?
It's not what?
Is it not the user that's supposed to do that when they are using the products?
But what I'm doing is just a mid-fidelity now.
Ma?
What I'm designing is just a mid-fidelity.
I know. When you are designing it, are you supposed to put your phone number, you type your phone number, email address, you type your email address? I thought that box would be empty.
Explain to me from your end, how do you think it should work?
I was thinking that you write the email, that box will be there, so that when the user is using it, it's the user that will not type his or her email and phone number. That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
So
okay.
it is designer that types email and phone number.
I want to ask you a question, and I need you to answer this question.
Okay.
Now, you said you are, as a designer, you're not the one that is supposed to put the details. Now, I want to ask you a question. Now, are you actually going to, now, I want to ask you a question, but I'm trying to put this question in a very clear way. So, are you telling me that as I'm doing my mid-fidelity, the developer should be coding it so that the user will start using the product? Is it what you're trying to say?
No.
No. It's the question I'm asking you. I need you to answer the question. Because if you say, I am not the one that is supposed to put the information, this is actually on a Figma file. This is actually let me use the word, a dummy design of how the final project will look like. It's actually not going to be coded. There's no way somebody can type anything. The only thing this prototype can work is tap, drag, after delay. So there is user is going to type anything yet. So even if I share you this screen, you cannot even edit or type. So your question is wrong. So it is only when user can actually type something, it is when you have done the high fidelity, which is 90 to 95% of how your final projects will work, and you have done everything your team has approved, your user are satisfied with playing around with the prototype you did, of which I have shared the link to you guys, and developers have coded your work. Then you people have come out to the public and then said, we have actually built Mavi Food. You people should come and download it on your app store, and then that's when user can now type on it. As long as it is on your Figma, there is no concern with your user pay anything. The only thing they can do is tap, drag, and after delay. Even the after delay is on its own. So the only thing they can do is tap, swipe, and drag. Do you understand?
Okay.
So if you are designing, what you're just going to design, you're going to use, if you want to use your name, like me, I love using my name when I'm designing, okay? But if it's something that needs to have different names, I'll have to use different random names. But as long as the project is on your Figma, there is no business with you and your user.
Okay.
You're just giving them display of how this project will look like if they finally code this work. Do you understand?
Okay. Okay.
Is it clear?
Yes.
So
Okay. What did you type? What did you click before that alt when you were doing when the distance scattered?
more scattered.
When it scattered, you click something before alt to arrange it back.
Okay. Now let me show you something. Now this is what we have. Okay, let me create a new one. So I'm just going to drag this here. I'm going to drag it here. And I'm going to drag this out here and I'm going to create a new one. So I'm just going to bring what's going on now. So I'm going to take, okay, now this is actually not in alt. Now remember I have, okay, let me create a new one to be easy this way. Now I have this here and I have this eye icon. I have this eye icon already. Yeah. So I already have this. I want to recreate this already. So I already have this. Let me take it out from auto layout. Let me close this so that you can be watching what I'm doing. So I have one, 2, and 3. So I'm going to bring this one out. Okay, are you watching it? I'm going to hold this camera. Okay. Now I want to recreate this input field. This one I have here, and I want to create another one, and I want to recreate this one I did here, and I want to create another one that has field information. I have this and this. I'm going to hold it together. Right click, add auto layout. So once I've added auto layout, I'll come here, check if it's actually aligned to the left, and then I'll hold this eye icon, and then I'll right click and add auto layout. So once I add auto layout, now it's giving me that auth information, but I'm just going to remove it. I'll do it by myself. It's automatically giving me the auth information because it's already on the auth here. So now this is what I have. Sorry about the noise. So this is what I have. This is what I have now. You get? Then I'll bring it here. I want to create this input, this one I just highlighted. I want to create it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold it here and I'm going to add auto layout to it. So I'm just going to, if you click here to add another auto layout, it's just going to show you remove auto layout. So I'm just going to use my shortcut to do Shift A. So if you want to learn how to use shortcut key, so you're going to learn it from this question mark here. Come here and learn keyboard shortcut, how to use all these elements. And then the size of this is already 325. So I'm going to hold this here and I'm going to align to the center here, and then I'll move it to 325. So once I move it like this now, I want this thing to be here and I want this to be here. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to click inside and I'm going to move this guy here. This is it. Now I am going to add stroke for this. So I'm going to add stroke. I'm going to get this color code for it. I'm going to get this color code D9 D9 D9. So I'm going to add it like this, and I'll come to this place and give it corner radius. So here is corner radius. Yeah, the corner radius I'm using is 10. So I've added this way. So the height of what I'm using is 50. So I'm just come here, click, and then make it 50. So I've made it 50. This is the way you want. Now I don't want it to be too, it's too close. And it's okay, but it's too close. So I'm just going to bring it this way. Okay, actually not moving. Then you click. If you try that way, it's not moving. Then you come here and then reduce it this way. So once you reduce it this way, you're going to close this to get to the line. So once you close it, this is how it's going to be because it has actually passed the icon. So I'm just going to set it very well. So I have to zoom in to set it very well. Now this is how it will look like. Now I have done this. I'll now have to bring this one here and then hold these two together and then do auto layout for it. So once I do auto layer, this is how it's actually going to look like. Now I want to do a screen that has the field information with your password. So all I have to do is just to duplicate this, Command D, Control D, or hold your Shift and Alt key and then drag it out. And now I want to put password. So what I'm typing is Oluchi now. You can tell that this is actually coming this way. So what I'm going to do, I'll just undo. So once I undo, I'll just undo, and then I will hold this whole thing inside this rectangle, the whole information inside the rectangle. Then I'll just come to this, my auto layer settings, click on this drop down here, come to this alt, click on it. So once I click on it, you see that this thing has actually changed. Okay, you can choose to move it to the top, you can choose to move here, but the best is always at center. The best is always at center. So once at the center, then you come back here. You can now change this information here to Oluchi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can tell that whatever you're doing here is actually not affecting this because you have actually put it in alt. Automatic, it means automatic. So anything you are doing here is just covering the whole space and everybody is maintaining their position. So you can, even if you take out this icon, even if I take out this icon, let me click on it. So even if I take out this icon, you see that everybody, the only thing is that this one will just cover up that icon space, but this guy is not going to leave its position. So even if I add the weight of this, let's add weight to this text. So even if I make it extra bold or this, it will not change. Let's use medium. Even if I move it to 14, it's actually not going to move this guy. Like it just like this guy is standing kakaraka and nothing can actually take him out from his position. That's the work of this alt. Do you understand? Ihota. She gone off. Any other person before we continue the home screen? Okay, so let's continue. Somebody here, I saw a message. Somebody said my own started from I don't know. I think I saw a message. Somebody said my own started from the onboarding screen 1. No, it's not possible. Check very well from your end. Restart it. So let's continue from the home page. Okay, because I okay, so would you please help me click out, please? Like, yeah, from this screen. Just keep your cursor here and just click anywhere on the screen here. Everybody wants to be on the fire at the same time. No problem. You're welcome. Okay, so let's design for food information. So I'm just going to duplicate this. So we have done flow for the sign up, we've done flow for the login, and we've done flow for the forgot password. So now let's design for food information. So one more important information is, please, I want to beg, I am on my knees. You see this renaming your design, your frame, phone frame. Please take it serious. Take it very, very serious. Like, take it very, very serious. It's very, very important. Very, very important. Don't be like your tutor, please. Yeah, you're supposed to follow your tutor's footsteps, but it's very, very important. It's very, very important. Please, oh, Choma, avoid me. Avoid me. Okay, so I think we are good to go. I love how clean and aligned my design are. What? Okay, so let's continue. Let's design the food information and or let's do the food information and then play around with this home screen. Okay, so I'm going to do two home screen. The one that Choma was, the one that Oluchi was asking if it's possible, and the one we already have on this screen. So we're just going to link I'm just going to play just one particular home screen that is standing on its own. Just one particular home screen that is standing on its own. That's what I'm going to do. But our existing home screen, I'm just going to link it to our food information. And then I will now prepare my mind to give it one small task with short deadline. Fear not. Okay, so let's change this to food information screen. So I'm going to delete all this. Let's go back to our mood board and get the inspiration for that screen. Okay. So where did we do our food information? So we have something like this. I'm just going to copy this. So I'm going to copy this and come back to here. So I'm going to paste it here. So I'm going to follow this pattern. So like I said, you can choose to add icon. You can choose not to add icon. So that is why I had to do the two together. So I'm going to just expand this. And I'm going to go back to view my button because consistency is key. So I'm just going to bring any button, paste it here. And I'm going to check if there is prototype in it. I'm just going to delete it out. So we'll come back to my design. I'm going to place this as add to cart. So I'm going to change the text to add to cart. So once I'm done with this, I'm going to just get this floor for here. Turn on my layout grid. Come here for image. Move to the ending now. So I'm just going to go back to this my carousel here. I'll copy it, scroll down, come here, paste it. So I'm going to get my title text for the jollof rice chicken and plantain. So this is my title text already. Copy. You could tell that I'm not actually using consistency. The consistency is just here. So I'm just going to bring this one here. And then I'll say jollof rice with chicken and plantain. Rice is actually missing in that thing I'm writing. Chicken. Okay. Now, once I'm done, I'm just going to bend the text this way, move to the left, zoom in, align this way, and come here and move this guys to the left. Then once I'm done, just zoom in and then place it this way. Okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is going to be these letters, like this dummy text. So I'm just going to go back to my onboarding. Just bring one I already have here. Copy. Scroll down here. Paste it here. And move the text to the left. So I'm just going to go back to the gray color I used on the sign up. Where is it running to? So I'm going to get the color code I used for the sign up. I did not use black, so I used 4848. So you can choose to copy the color code or you just know the number 4848, 48 times 3, or 48 3 times. Just come here, 48, 48, 48. Then you turn it off to see how it turn out. Okay, we are coming up, then turn it on. Then the next thing I'm going to design is delivering time and all. So I'm just going to bring this and I'm going to add something like this. So I'm just going to use my rectangle to indicate like this and get this color. So I'll just use the same color. So I just get my color picker, pick this color, duplicate my rectangle, reduce it, get this and then reduce it. So I'm just going to give it a short corner radius of maybe 5. And this should be like also 5. And this should be here. So I'm just going to add this here. So I'm going to turn it off, see how the corners could be. So this is what we have. And I'm going to, okay, I think I've forgotten the back button and the log icon. So I'm just going to get this color I'm using for my icon already. I'll just bring it this way. And I'll also duplicate this one. This will stand for notification. So I'm going to turn it on. And then here. Then I'll hold both of them and then align the vertical center. So I'm just going to make sure it doesn't get to this wax. Remember we're using our margin intensify. Hey, what is happening? So we have this. So this stands for love icon and this stands for back button. So we have this. So we're just going to just add this and this and then we're going to go. So I'm going to just reduce this one here. This is going to be here. So remember we're using 22. So the space there is just 22. So I'm just going to get, where is this title text? So I'm going to get this particular title text here. So be so let's go and copy my sign. So you can choose to use NGN or you can choose to use the normal sign. So I think let's try NGN. So let's use the normal Naira sign. So where is it? You just copy it, come back to your design, paste it. So I think this text to text is actually looking small. So we are going to use this particular title text. So here we are using 24 bold. So I'm just going to come back here and then change this to be 24 bold. So I'm going to move this. What is going on? So I'm just going to move this text here. Then I'll just duplicate this or copy and bring it this way. So this is going to be place order. So I'm going to put both of them auto layout. So Shift A, and I'm going to align to the top center. So I'll make sure that the whole text is actually like the whole text clipped together. So just hold here to hug the text, then come here and do the same too. So now if you've done this, this is how it's going to turn out to be. So I'm going to hold this and bring this here and hold this and align to the vertical center, and then I'll make auto layout. So once I make auto layout, you can tell that there's space here. So all I have to do is just to move this guy. So I'm just going to move this guy to this place. So once I move this guy to this place, you see that there's space here. So just shift this guy here. So once you shift this guy here, this is how it's going to be. So you're going to make it auto layout again. So when you've done auto layout, just drag this to this place and then just drag this part to this end of the screen and here to the end of the screen. So when you've dragged to the end of the screen, come back here and then place it at the center. So once you place it at the center, this is how it's going to be. But now it's actually crossing here and there's space here, and we've done that, put that in the center. It's actually not aligned very well. So I think we'll have to come back here to make the necessary adjustment here. So now let's play around to cover this space here. So all I have to do is just to come back here, move it this way, and then click on this to make sure that it doesn't cross this line. So this is how it's going to be. And then we're going to return back this button so it will not get crossed. So just come here and then play on this space here to close it. So once you close it, this is how it turns out going to be. And then you now move it to the bottom. Now when you move it to the bottom, you see that there's small space here. So all you have to do is just click inside. So then you zoom in. So once you zoom in, you can now take this guy here. When you take it here, then you check the other end too. It's actually there. Then you zoom out. Then you play around, cover up, like play around with this 77 to cover up this small space. And then you just move it this way. So I'm just going to make type 82. Okay, yes. So this is what we have. So I'm just going to see that this is actually inside. Close the eye and turn it up. So this is what we have for this, the bottom navigation for this. So this is what we have, which is good to go. And then now if you tell you see that our food information screen is actually longer than the home screen. The same question that Oluchi was asking yesterday. So I'm going to bring this thing down so I can create this part. So I'm going to bring this rectangle down that you can add other items, maybe coleslaw, maybe drink or whatsoever you want to add. So I'm just going to copy this price I've added here because I want to be consistent in the size of my text. So I'm just going to copy it and then add it here. I'm going to, this is going on. So I'm going to bring it here. And I'm going to zoom in and then reduce the price just to make it look great. I'm just going to reduce the price to 3K. Not 53, 3,000. 3,000. Then what we have is this. So I'm just going to click on this. So I'm just going to duplicate this. Just change it to quantity. Then come here and hold this text this way. Then bring it this way. Then bring this one also here. Put price. Then hold it to auto layout. Then so now if I do auto layout, you can tell that this is actually outside. It's showing me this frame here. So I'm going to undo whatever I've done, and I'm going to trace for the one that is outside. So I think the price is actually outside and the quantity is outside. So just take it out. So once you take it out, click out. Where is it again now? So just take it out this way. Click out and then bring it back inside. It will now show you on this place that it's actually inside. Same thing for the quantity. So quantity is outside. Take it out, click out, click on it, and then return it back. So this is it. It will now show you that it's now inside. So I'm going to hold this and then make auto layout. So once I make auto layout, I don't like this too much space here. I'll just, this is the space. I don't like this too much space here. I'll just come here and then reduce it to 5. So once I reduce to 5, I'm just going to bring it down this way. And I'm going to use small boxes as plus and minus. Yeah, so I'm just going to use 20, 20. So I'm just going to duplicate it again. And I'm going to duplicate this text and put it like maybe plus, plus sign. So I'm just going to bring it this way and then hold the 3 of them and then do it auto layout. Shift A. So once I place it auto layout, this is how it's going to look like. If you're comfortable with the spacing 1, 1, if you're not comfortable, you can just make it 3, whatever number you want to make it. Then make this to auto layout. So once you make auto layout, you pick, here is aligned to the left. So you can choose to make it to align to the right, or you can choose to make it align to the center. So let's align to the center to see how it actually look like. So this is how it look like, and this is how it look like when you align to the left. Well, actually, it's not giving, it's actually looking like improper alignment. So I think I'll have to move it to the center, and then I'll hold this together and make sure that the spacing between each of them is 5. So the spacing between the price and the amount is 5. The spacing between the quantity and this plus and minus is 5. And then I'll have to move to the top. So this is how it actually looks like. So you can choose to make these two together, auto layout if you want to. But to me, I'm going to make it auto layout. Once I make it auto layout, I already have this settled. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to add some information here. So but what I'm just going to do is I'm going to, sorry about that. So I'm just going to pick this box I have already created here. So I'll have to pick this box. So I just have to copy. So once I'm going to scroll out, but it's actually, sometimes it's actually return here. So what you have to do is just to drag it down this way. So once you drag it down, this is how it can have to be. Then I'm just going to add it here. So this is what I'm trying to recreate. This is what I'm trying to recreate. So what I'm going to do is I'll just have to make these boxes to look dark. So I'm just going to make it dark this way. Let's turn off the layout grid to see what we are doing. So I'm going to hold this and then make the screen darker. The box is darker rather. Okay, so this is what we have. I'm just going to make the same thing I did for here, dark, and same thing here, dark. So this is what I have. So I'm just going to duplicate this text here. So I'm going to hop this text because I don't need this space. I'm just going to click here, hop it here, and bring it this way. So I'm going to reduce this. I'm going to reduce this rectangle. It's too much. So I'm going to use 40. Let's see how 40 turn out to be. 40 is okay. So I'm just going to keep it this way and duplicate for price and duplicate for item. So I'm going to change this to items. Now I'm going to change this to price, and this is going to be quantity. So I'm just going to hold the three of them, make them auto layout. So they're going to now, it's showing that it's outside. So I'm going to undo that, take the three of them outside. So this is actually, okay, let me change it to white. So you can tell that it's outside. So it's outside. And so I want to see that it's outside. Then I'm going to click out, highlight all of them again, and bring them inside. So once I bring them inside, this is how to do them. So I'm going to return it back to the column. So bring it inside, and I'm going to just do them auto layout. So once I do them auto layouts, I'm just going to place them at the center. So I'm going to hold this box to align them at the center. So I'm going to align them vertical and horizontal center. So once I'm done, I'm going to click the rectangle. Just hold your shift and click whatever you don't want to hold again, and then I'll come here to play around with it to align them to the center. So when I think something like this is okay for me, so I'm going to hold it back and then align again, horizontal and vertical center. But the space here and here is actually much. So I think that's gone out of spacing. So I think the space here and here is much. So I'm just going to hold my shift, unclick the rectangle, come here and then play around with it again. And then hold it back, do the same thing I did, vertical and horizontal spacing. Then bring this here. Make sure that it's actually, if you want to do this, you can turn on your layout grid to do it, to be sure that it is same. Then you can then check the spacing between them. So you can hold this item price, this thing, then check. Okay. So the reason why it's giving us 7 at the top and 6 at the bottom is because this is in odd number. This is in odd number, and this height of this thing is actually in odd number. So that's why it's giving us one above the other. So you can choose to just make it to be the same, so that it will give us same. So you can just choose to move it up here. So this one is giving us 14 and 13 is because this other rectangle is in odd number. So we are not going to change it to make it in even number, because if we try it, our margin is just going to be minus of what we've done. Remember, our margin is 25, and anything we are doing should not be more than 25. Okay, so that's why we're not going to tamper with it. So we're just going to hold these two together and then make it auto layout. So once we make it auto layout, we have this set as auto layout. So I'm going to turn on my layout grid, yes, and then I'm going to adjust this to the top. So I'm going to move this here. So I'm just going to move this here, and I'm going to, let's duplicate this here. So I just noticed that this information is actually outside. Now see, if I turn the eye of this my food app, I notice that it's outside. Okay, this food information. So if I turn off this food information, you can see that the text is outside, which is not supposed to be. I'm going to, let's zoom in and see it is outside. See it. You can see the text is outside, which is not supposed to be so. So I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to click on it and make sure that I bring it inside. So what I'm going to do is I already know the name of this screen. So I'll just close every other one here. So I'm just going to close every other screen here. Close this, close this. So I'm just going to go to look for it. So I'm just going to scroll to look for it. So the name of this screen is food information. So I think this is great password. So I'm just going to scroll. So you can do this way. Now this is the food information. You can actually do this way, or you can just do drag outside, click out, and return it inside. Anyone is perfectly. So, but I'll have to do the two patterns so that you will know which one favors you. Okay. So this is it here, and you just choose to drag till you get to that screen. Just something like this. Drag, you scroll down, scroll till you get to the screen. And once you get to the screen, just place it inside. And then the information is inside. So that anyone work for you, either you want to go by this way or by the other way. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this one here and then change it to maybe soft drink. Like the word soft drink. Okay, let's just use Fanta. Then I don't need this space in here. Just click on this, close it. Let's say Coke. Let's say beef. Let's say plantain, extra plantain. Let's just use different random words, please. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to add more one. Coleslaw, salad, whatever. I'm going to add some add. We're going to add beer. Not this playing beer again. Beverages, anyone you want to add. So if you want to add long words, no wahala, you're free to go. So these are the things I wrote down here. So I'm just going to also duplicate this here. I'm going to remove this, bring this way. So once I bring this way, I already have my Naira sign that I copy. We'll come back here and paste it and then say 500 Naira. So I'm just going to duplicate the whole price information and just paste. Duplicate. Duplicate here and yeah. So once we add this way, so we're just going to also duplicate this for you, and this here, and this here. So once you've added here, what you're going to do is you're going to hold. Now we've done this in auto layer. Now we want to do all this in auto layer. Then we'll arrange all of them together. So I'm going to hold Fanta 500 and this one. So I'm just going to make them auto layout. So once you make them auto layout, you check the spacing in this one. So we have 76 and we check this 75. So you can just drag this your ruler to be sure that this information are actually aligned. So this is how it be. So if you want to hide your ruler, some person's Figma may not be like this, but let me see if it's Shift R. Okay, yes. Now on your laptop, Shift R is for you to either bring or hide your ruler. Now, my ruler is hidden. So if you want to bring it out, just hold your shift key and arrow key together. It's going to be visible, okay? And then you can drag it this way. So if you're dragging, you need to be very careful so you not drag from here, because if you drag from here, this is how it will turn out to be, okay? So that's why you need to be very careful when you want to drag your ruler. So you need to watch how your cursor is before you drag it, okay? So just need to drag from here and your ruler is out. Okay? So let's continue. So I'm going to hold this, and this, and then make it auto layout. So I'm going to hold this, this, and then make it auto layout. I'm going to hold the second one, this, and then make it auto layout. And then the next one, don't worry about the alignment. We'll arrange it when we are done. I'm going to hold this, and then make it auto layout. And we're going to make this, and this. So auto layout. So I'm going to hold the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to hold them and then move to the layer, and I'm going to set all of them 76. So when I said 76, you see that all of them is not, if it has the same number, all of them is going to be scattered. So we're not going to do that. So we're just going to tidy up. So we're going to tidy up. Now, if you check here, all of them is actually aligned, but here they are not aligned, and here they are kind of aligned. So what are we going to do? Now, the ones that are not aligned now, this is what you will do. So you're going to hold this text inside here. So because if you use this ruler to know the ones that are going to be straight, you can also bring out another ruler to keep these ones here. So first thing first, you're going to do, you're going to hold this and hold this, and then make it auto layout. So once you make it auto layout, that is how you can now play around with this to bring it here. Same thing with this. Hold this one. Hold this one. You know, they're already inside auto layout. So you're just going to hold this price and hold this contain, and then make it auto layout, and come here to remove it. Always make sure you remove it from Alt if you want to adjust something like this, and then you come here to play around with it. Same thing applies here. Same thing applies here. Hold this together. Remove it from Alt. Remove it from Alt. Make your necessary adjustments. So this place is going to be like I'm reducing it. And same thing for here. You know, if all the texts are not the same line, it will only work if you just duplicate code. But in this part, I don't want to just duplicate only one letter. I want to use different long letters to play around with it. So I'm going to take it out from here, and I'm going to reduce it. Okay, I'm going to reduce it, or rather increase it. Okay, so now you see that we've arranged this one, but these ones are not aligned. So I'm going to bring this, my ruler here. Now I can trace the one that are not up to the place. I'll just bring it this way. So now once you do that, you will see that if you move to this end, you see that it's not aligned. So all I have to do is just get this. This is 294. So this should be 294. So I'm just going to add 1, or just drag it this way. So I'm just going to drag it this way. So once I drag this way, I'm just going to set it to be this way. So by the time I set, you'll tell that 1 has actually gone out of track. So if I set it, it shows that 1 has actually gone out of track. So all I have to do is just to hold. So I'm just going to hold this, and then make it auto layout. and then take it out from Alt and then play around with it. So now I can drag, so now I can play with this and then bring it this way. Then at this one, so all I have to do is just to take it this way and then play around with this too. Do we have any other one? No. So we are good to go. So I'm going to hold the 6 of them. So I'm going to hold the 6 of them. And then I'm going to do it auto layout. So once I've done it auto layout, I'm going to hold this and then make it auto layout. So once I make it auto layout, this is how it's going to look like. Then I can reduce it this way. So once I've reduced it, I'm going to return this ruler, or you can just click on it and then delete it. So I think I'm good to go with this. With what I've done so far, I think I'm good to go. So but now let's arrange our screens, because if I want to scroll, all those things should go inside. But before that, let me show you how the display look like. So I'm going to hold this and bring it this way. And I'm going to scroll. This and this should be together. This, and make sure you're doing it is actually aligned to the center. This is actually aligned to the center, and this is aligned to the center. So once I'm good to go, once I'm done, you can just hold it this way. So now let's cover up this space and then preview how it's actually going to look like on a mobile phone. So I'm going to reduce this guy here. So I'm going to look for that guy that ran away. So I'm going to look for it. So this is frame 80. So I'm just going to hold this and then cover up this. So once I'm covering, I don't know why that guy is running away. So let's get to this point and then look for it here. I'll return it back. Yeah. So let's look at what we've done so far. So everything is actually aligned. So let's preview it on a mobile phone. So this is how it is going to look like. And if you watch, we want it, if we want user when they click, they can be able to scroll. But now when they scroll, our status bar, everything is actually running away, and which is not what we want. And we want this to be actually fixed in a position. So now let's play around with it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this bottom navigation, and I'm going to give it a fill color. So once I give it a fill color, I'm good to go. I'll come to my prototype and come to this scroll behavior. I want it to be fixed at a position. So I'm going to fix in a position. So once I fix, this is how it's going to look like. Automatically, it just come here to stay. And the next thing I'm going to do is I don't want if I scroll, this status bar and all this information are hiding. So what I'm going to do, I'll come back to my design and I'm going to get a rectangle and I will place it here. So the rectangle is not inside. Drag it out, click, and drag it in, align, take to the top, and then bring it down. Now it's covering this information. So I'm just going to use my arrow key to take it down. I'm going to change the color to white. I'm going to first place this and this in auto layout. And I'm going to hold my status bar and then make it auto layout. And then I will hold that rectangle and then make everything auto layout. So once I make it auto layout, the same way I fix this bottom navigation, that is what I'm going to do. I'll come back to my prototype, scroll, and I want it, that is the scroll behavior, and I want it to fix in a position. So now if we click on this our front frame, this is how it's going to be. This is how it's going to be. So by the time you start adding colors and all, but if you just want it to have maybe a funny header color, you can then go ahead and add your color desire or your color choice. But for now, this is how it's just going to be like this now. Okay, so that was what Oluchi was asking me in I think that was one of our questions yesterday. So in the display, this is how it's going to look like. But in your design, this is how it's going to look like. So we are done with this inspiration. I'm going to take it out. So now let's play around with this home screen to make all this information here to be scrolling, like this information. You know, we added other Mr. Sweet, Mr. Peter, and every other this thing restaurants inside. And now we want, if we preview our prototype, we should be able to scroll, take it like to the left or to the right. So what we are going to do now, we are done with this one for you to scroll up and down, which is actually nice this way. So this is what we've done. Just scroll up and scroll down. This is it. So the reason why this is actually under is because we added a fill color. That's why it's under this way. So I'm going to make, for the home page, I'm going to make it to be scrolling and then add maybe just the first jollof rice to this screen. So now let's go back to our prototype and then let's click on category. So we're going to click on this category. Now, if you know, we actually did this category title and the other babies in auto layout. So but for now, we're just only going to do those rectangle that stands as images of category. So we're just going to click on it. Click on scrolling to be horizontal. So it's going to be horizontal. Now let's try it. So I'm going to click on it. So you can tell it's actually scrolling. So that is it. And you are going to do the same thing for here. So the same thing here, we're just going to move it to scroll horizontal. So I'm going to scroll here. So I'm going to do the same thing for popular restaurants. So once I click here, scroll horizontal, and then I'm going to scroll this way. So this is it. And then this is what we have, okay? So I'm just going to link this first on my prototype to take me to this screen here. So it's going to be tapped. So once I tap here, instantly scroll, go to go, and then I can add 2 cards. Okay, before we continue, question time. Oh my God. I'm so sorry for your sim. So sorry. Okay, so before we continue, do we have questions to ask? Hello?
Hi.
Okay, Oluchi.
Hello, ma.
I can hear you.
Okay. And how do we know the one that the screen for when we are prototyping, the screen for inanimate, smart inanimate, instant? Are there particular screens that we use different?
No. No.
Mhm. How do you?
No, there's no particular screen. Prototyping is choice.
Okay, you decide. You the designer
Yes.
decides.
Yes.
Okay. So in a grid layer grid system, can we turn on the vertical and the horizontal grid system at the same time?
How?
For
Grid
the
system,
screens?
vertical and horizontal.
Ma?
Grid system, vertical and horizontal.
Yes, can we turn it on the same time?
Do you know what is grid system that has vertical? You are adding 2 things together. This is grid system here. If you can see my screen, this is grid system. So I can click on it here. and turn it. This is what grid system is called. This pinkish
Yes.
something here, and you can turn it off. So how does grid system have horizontal and vertical?
There's one for, this one is for vertical. There's one for horizontal.
Columns and rows.
They have columns and rows. That's what I'm sorry.
You can turn it on depending on what you're designing. You can use the two depending on what you're designing.
I tried it. It didn't work. When I turned this one off, I wanted to turn.
You have to do it together. You have to do it together. Let me show you something. Let's say, let me take this in out. So I've done for okay, so I want to create a new one, so I want to turn this one off. So I have this screen, okay? I want to do for layout grid. So I want to do for the reason is actually taking my old settings. So I want to do for this particular screens. So I'll click here. Let's say this is for columns. Let's use 6. Let's use margin of 25. You've set for columns. So what you're going to do is you're going to click on it again. Click on the plus sign. Click on it and select for row. And maybe let's use 12. Let's use 0. So you can see it has it's having the two together. So you can choose to turn off the row, use this one. You can choose to turn on this one and turn off this one. So use this one. Do you understand? Okay. So this is how this one looks like. So you can choose to just close the eye, work on this, and this. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Any other person? Should we end the class now or should we continue? Should we end the class now or should we continue? So okay, hold on. Ask a question.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
I want to ask, does the length of the screen affect the prototype or the way it is on the Android view, Android layout?
Android designs are actually different from iOS designs because the icon and the status bar are actually different. But there are some clients that you will meet, they will tell you to design for Android and iOS. But mobile developers are actually making our work very, very easy for us. So all we have to do is just design for the iOS, and then they are going to split the work for Android and iOS. Like I am an iOS mobile designer, not an Android designer. I focuses on more on iOS. And the reason why I focus on iOS because I can easily get nice and beautiful mock-up for iOS, unlike for Android.
Okay, but
and the frame provided for us, I don't know. They recently take out Android frame. I no longer see them here again. I don't see them anymore. So for the phone frame, what I'm seeing here is the only one I'm seeing is this Android small. And now let me place this Android small. See how it is. It's looking like iPhone 6 and all. So it's looking like all these, how do I describe all these small Android phone you get. So, and by the time you design with this and developers want to work on your project, it's actually going to give them a tough time. So I think that was why Figma took out the whole of Android frame and just allow users to design with iOS, because it is much easier for you to do nice mock-up with iOS phone mock-up and all. And somebody that design with Android, whenever the person posts the work, it's actually going to look odd and not looking beautiful. So Figma took it out and they gave us this. So if you are designing, don't use iPhone SE. I don't know if you've seen iPhone SE and all. It's actually small, and if a developer wants to do the work, it's going to give them tough time. It's not going to give them the right dimension for a normal phone size. Okay, so that's why I always advise designers use iPhone 13 mini upward. So even if you want to preview your work on your mobile phone and you are not an iPhone user, so if you design with any of these iPhone 13 mini upward and you preview the design with your Android phone, trust me, it looks so beautiful. And the frame is just, Figma has this way of automatically moving your mock-up to just fit into the size of your phone. If you're using a normal, this the normal long Android phone, not this old normal phone size. You understand? I'm not much with knowing Android names like that, but I'm just giving an instance for iPhone users. If you're a designer and you want to preview your work and you're using this button iPhone, like the normal button iPhone that has button fingerprint button iPhone at the front, your work, your Figma designs is actually not going to look fine at all. So, but if you're using from X upward, the Face ID phone upward, your Figma will just automatically merge your Figma design to matching your Figma mobile app to give you a nice display of your screen that you're designing on your mobile phone. So same thing applies for Android.
Okay.
Is it clear enough?
Yes, it's clear.
Yeah? Hello? Did she hear me? Okay, any other question? One spirit is telling me to continue, one spirit is telling me to stop, so that you will go and learn the whole of what I've done, including yesterday's own. Okay, Marvelous, you can drop the attendance. I think I'll have to stop here.